Hi, it's Don Taylor, and good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever is going on. I don't know. I don't really know why I am still sitting outside. I've been running kids back and forth all day long, all morning long, afternoon, whatever. It's like 11. Um, since 7 o'clock this morning, back and forth to training and camps and whatnot. Summer. I don't know who thought. I don't know who acted as if summer meant that there was some sort of break for parents. The fact that they call it summer break, I don't know why they act as if that's a good thing, like that's something that even happens, because it's just more things for me to do, because there's not public transportation provided by the schools for the things that my kids are going to. Instead, I got to drive them. That part. Okay. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I'm not complaining, because I get to create their schedule. I get to accept or deny their request and the things that they want to do and want to participate in. I am not a slave to my children's cravings. That part. Um, I don't really, yeah, I don't really comprehend when people are just like stressed and overwhelmed by their schedule, because we get to create our schedule, people. We are grown human beings, and that the creator of the universe gave free will to. So there is nothing that ties us to a have to. We get to create our schedule. You get to accept or deny where you work. You get to accept or deny where you live. You get to accept or deny what things you commit your time to, yourself to, your family to, your car to, your children to, you get to accept and deny what pets you have in your home. You get to accept and deny who you created a life with, who your spouse is. You get to accept and deny every aspect of your universe and world, except for the package that you came in. And some people are changing that too. But I had an uncle, and when they would say something about, you have to, he'd say, I don't have to do nothing but stay black and die. These are facts. There ain't no change in this, and there ain't no change in the fact that you will die. Although people are trying to do that as well. But these are once you draw your first breath, these are the contracts that you've made in the world. That's it. Everything else is negotiable. Everything else is an option. Everything else is a choice. So I don't really get, like, I'll play around and not really be complaining, but listing like the nonsense that I'm doing during the day, or like if I rip and run or have to follow behind taking kids here, there, and the other, or whatever, and be like, oh man, I had to do this, that, and the other. But I'm not really seriously complaining, because thank you, Jesus, for what you have blessed my life with. Thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you for the fact that I have a right mind. Thank you for the fact that I have a body that works. Thank you for the fact that I have transportation. Thank you for the fact that I have income to support the things. Thank you for so much. And the list goes on and 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 on. I am highly favored and flavor too. I am highly favored and blessed and overwhelmed with the things that are that God has given me in my life, because there is always, always, always somebody that don't have what you got. This is a speech I give to my kids all the time. Is that there's always somebody with less. There's always somebody who would want what you have. There's always somebody who's on the other side thinking, man, if I could live in that house, man, if I could have that family, man, if I could have that yelling, screaming mama, man, if I could have those annoying little siblings, man, if I could have, this, that, and the other. There's always somebody that wants what you got, and not even in a covetous type, sinful, lustful way. There's always somebody who just their life situation has given them less, and the abundance of your life looks appealing to them for something they would aspire to or one day, want to have or look up to, or something of that nature. So when we sit around, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. I don't get it. The complaints. But that was not what I was coming on here to talk about. What I was coming on here to talk about was Romans 9. For my own personal self. Okay, so Romans 9 is it goes through Paul discussing a couple of good aspects of life that we need to understand. Is one, that the children of Israel were not the chosen people because of their DNA. They were the chosen people because of the promise that they held on to. If you look through Exodus and Deuteronomy and all this other stuff, if you look through the first couple of chapters where there was God coming through and wiping out folks that were disobedient and crazy and this, that, and the other, you notice the fact that they were children of Israel. He wasn't just wiping out people who were not children of Israel. He was wiping out people who were disobedient. He was wiping out people who were beyond disobedient, but rebellious and therefore choosing death. He gives us a choice of life or death. We should choose life, but these are people who were choosing death. They were choosing a rebellious road. They were choosing to turn their backs on God. And so it wasn't about your DNA that gave you a promise to the kingdom of heaven. It was about you holding on to your responsibility and accountability of promise, you holding on to the side of serving him. God always held up his promise and saved those who were serving him, who were aligned with him, those who did not turn away from him. That's why Noah's family was saved. That's why Lot was saved. That's why Abraham was removed and saved from the DNA that he came into the world with, the family he grew into, his father's house. He was told to separate himself from them because how he was serving was different, and God was honoring that by removing him. That's why Joseph was saved. That's why, it was not about the DNA. It was not about what you were born into. It was about the lineage of those who were keeping their end of the deal, of the promise, of the relationship, who was continuing to believe in that relationship and dig into that relationship. So in other aspects of Romans 9, he also speaks about there were some who had hard hearts. There's the Pharaoh, heart was hardened, and he went after the children of Israel, and it came to his demise and those who were with him. There are people who were all still a part of God's creation, yet what they walked out was a part of destruction on their end. There were those whose heart condition, whose position and how they saw things separated them from God's favor or into God's destruction. You talk about Esau, and it talks in there about that, the fact that he loved Jacob, he hated Esau, and it was the heart condition. Like when there's Cain and Abel, and you talk about, you read about, they both gave their sacrifice. They both gave their tithe, if you would, their offering, if you would. But it was about that heart condition, that God can see the sincerity. He can see the motivations. He can see where we're coming from. And when you see, and I talked on this a little bit before, when you see a situation where you're being blessed in a different way, I'm doing a video, I'll talk to you in a minute. When you see you being blessed in a different way than what you think you should be blessed, or that somebody else is being blessed, and you're thinking, well, we're walking the same path, or we're doing the same things, we go to the same church, why do they got this? And Michael Todd talked about that with in his series that he's doing right now, talking about worship and talking about miracles. Sometimes we look at that other thing and we're like, why they got this, that, and the other, and I was still doing this, that, and the other, and I didn't get this. And I've seen that in my own life.